This is the C harmonica that you probably already have. It sounds pretty high pitched. And this is a G harmonica. Listen to that. It's much lower. Now, if you're starting to like the harmonica and so far you have one harmonica, it's very likely that you started from a C harmonica because this is the most common one and it's the easiest to learn on. But as a second harmonica, what I recommend is the G, and there are two reasons for that. The first one is that, first of all, when you are starting to go out and play more music, so you get more into the harmonica, and then the second step is to start and go out and jam with people, jam with friends, jam with friends who play the guitar or the piano, etc. And then the whole deal about harmonica keys is that you gotta have the right key in order to jam with people. For example, if a friend of yours is playing a song in the key of G, you gotta have a harmonica in the key of G, at least in order to play first position, which is something I will not get into right now, but you just have to have the correct key. Now, the key of C is a great harmonica to have when you go out and jam with people because there are so many songs in the key of C. It counts for around 15% of the songs that are in the key of C and also in the key of A minor. Both of these together are around 15%. Now, the other harmonica key, which is just as common, the other key which is just as common to hear in popular music is the key of G, and also the key of E minor, which is the relative minor that is also covered by a harmonica in the key of G. And if you play guitar, you've probably noticed how many songs are in the key of G, and that means that the first chord in the song is either a G or, for example, an E minor. That means it's in the key of E minor. So this is the first reason. Both of these together, this one covers around 15% of the songs out there, and this one also covers around 15% of the songs out there. So they're just going to give you a lot of options when you go out and jam. The second reason, which is what I like the most even, is the G harmonica is very, very fun to play, in my opinion, and a lot more fun than the C harmonica. And that is because it's just lower and it's less squeaky. You know, it sounds more, in my opinion, more like a real instrument and less like a toy. So, for example, on the C harmonica, especially on the higher octave, you don't really want to get there because it doesn't sound very pleasant. But on the G harmonica also, the upper octave is going to be a lot more useful, and also just in general, all the other notes as well in the middle octave. So I think it's just a lot more fun to play, and also the playing itself feels a bit heavier. And some people would maybe like it less because the C is indeed more responsive because the reeds are lighter and the reeds in the G are heavier. But I think there's actually some very nice magic to it. It feels, just like I said, a lot more like a real instrument. So anyway, this is the bottom line. And one last tip, when you go out and buy your second harmonica, I highly recommend that even if you like the current harmonica that you have, try a different model. Don't go for the same model that you already have, just for the sake of feeling different harmonicas. And for example, I think you can't go wrong with any of the Honor models at $35 to $50. In this price range, anything you would get would be awesome. So even if your first harmonica was a cheaper one, I highly recommend in general to only play harmonicas that are a bit nicer, just because they make it more nice to play, and then you want to actually go back to the instrument. So anyway, key of G harmonica is a second harmonica, and I highly recommend a different model. Thank you for watching the video, and if you have any thoughts about this, please let us know. Goodbye.